announcements before we begin.
In the unlikely event of an emergency, please calmly move toward the exits. Exit the building and gather in the parking lot to wait for further directions. In the unlikely event of an evacuation while in the classrooms, students will exit the classroom first. Please follow them as they know where to go. Please be advised that there is no smoking allowed in any school building or on school property, in accordance with Chapter 71, Section 37H of Massachusetts General Laws.
Thank you for coming to our Veterans Day program. In preparation for this program, we have learned about the role of military conflict in the history of the United States. The songs we will be performing today reflect both popular sentiments and personal feelings, while representing both sacred and secular responses to war and stories of both victory and defeat. We are also in our third year of using the Peace Builders program, which encourages us to think about how people should treat each other. The intersection between these two topics is interesting because we discuss our need to have people ready to protect us even as we work toward a future where violent conflict becomes obsolete. Therefore, we would like to share with you the Peace Builders Pledge.
Observance, now known as Veterans Day, was first marked on November 11, 1919, exactly 1 year after World War I officially ended. At the time, it was called Armistice Day in reference to the peace agreement that Germany had signed with the Allies exactly 1 year earlier. While this first observation was dedicated to those who had died in the war, but they eventually became a time to honor all those who have protected our country throughout its history. We will now share with you the words of Woodrow Wilson's Armistice Day proclamation, followed by a very old song with a simple message in memory of those who have died. Give us peace.
Us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who have died in the country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the state which has freed us, and because the opportunity has given America to show our sympathy with peace and justice within the councils of the nations.
that Britain was collecting taxes from them without giving them any say in the government. The colonists began to protest by forming their own government and by refusing to buy products that Britain collected taxes on. The most famous protest was the Boston Tea Party, when a group of colonists in Boston, Massachusetts boarded British cargo ships and dumped the tea into the Boston harbor. When the Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4th, 1776, the American Revolution officially began. With the help of a number of other countries, the war came to an end in 1783, and the United States of America were recognized as a new country.
The song Chester was written by William Billings just prior to the Revolutionary War. It represents a New England tradition in which the lines between sacred and secular are blurred, and which lyrics and melodies are often interchangeable. Chester was one of the most popular patriotic songs of its time. Boarded the British flagship to secure the release of the local doctor, Dr. William Yates. During the negotiations, they were invited to dinner by the British Vice Admiral. The paragraph letters from the captured British soldiers had been treated by the doctor and advocated for his release. However, since their dinner conversation had also included details of a planned attack on Bosworth, no one if he could be allowed to leave until after the battle. Spending the night on an enemy ship during the attack on Fort McHenry was an intense experience for Francis Scott Key, and he expressed his feelings by writing a poem about the event. In the poem, he describes the American flag, which flies above the fort as long as it has not been captured, and remembers the darkness of the night as he waited to see if the dawn's early light will illuminate an American or a British flag. Many copies of the poem were printed and it soon became very popular. People began singing the words to the tune of a well-known song, to the Anacreon in Heaven, which was written about 35 years earlier for a musicians' club in England. Together, the words and music eventually became the national anthem of the United States of America.
Whose stripes and bright
response to the recent election of President Abraham Lincoln, 7 southern states decided that no longer they want to be part of the country. When this decision was rejected by the government, the Southern Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter. When this decision was rejected by the government, the Southern Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter. When Lincoln called for all the states to send troops to fight the Confederacy, 8 more states decided to join the South, and the American Civil War had begun.
During the war, the band leader Patrick Gilmore decided to write a song about how happy he would be when the war was over and the soldiers finally returned home. Being particularly concerned with safety of his future brother-in-law, Captain John M. Rowe, Gilmore based his song from his Irish heritage. As long as his song has been absorbed into our musical tradition, many slight variations on the notes and words have become evident.
Johnny Hardly Knew was a sad song about a soldier who was pressed by the British and left terribly disabled. Gilmore's When Giants March on Home is a reflection of hope that all our soldiers will be safe. This sentiment still rings true as we await the return of our soldiers from faraway land. Great tension between many major powers. Attempting to create security for themselves, the most powerful countries had created a complex network of agreements and alliances. As a result of this situation, the beginning of the First World War in 1914 led to the involvement of most of the world, including the United States. In 1915, Canadian Field Surgeon Lieutenant Colonel John McHenry was working near the front lines in an area of Belgium known as Flanders. The deaths of many soldiers, including his friend Lieutenant Alexis Helmer, inspired him to write the poem In Flanders Fields. In his poem, McHenry speaks for the deceased soldiers, reflecting on their short lives and calling on others to take their place so that the dead may rest in peace, having not died in vain. The poem soon became popular around the world, prompting many others to write their own responses and becoming part of many observances. You can still hear the song and this poem each year at the memorial, and a response each year at the Memorial Day ceremony at the Cleveland Park Cemetery. Place and in the still unstable in Europe, continuing disagreements over the terms of treaties of World War I, along with the Great Depression, allowed Mussolini and Hitler to rise to power. German invasion of Poland in 1939 started the Second World War, and all of the world powers soon became involved. The United States supported the Allies early on before becoming officially involved in 1941. It was during this time that the United States government adopted the Pledge of Allegiance as a part of the flag code.
The pledge was written by American Baptist minister Francis Bellamy in 1892 for public school students to recite on Columbus Day. The original wording is, I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Over time, the pledge was changed to specify the United States of America so that immigrants would not be pledging to their native flags. This version reads, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The pledge eventually became part of practices of many groups such as the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and Freemasons. It was changed again after the Knights of Columbus advocated for the addition of the words under God. While today we see the reference to God as the most controversial element of the pledge, and even earlier versions were a problem for groups who refused to pledge an oath to anyone or anything other than God. Both viewpoints led to a number of rules, including that the pledge can be led in schools, but that no one can be required to stand or to recite the pledge. Therefore, we invite you to join us in observing the pledge in your own way. Of unstable peace between the communists and the world led by the Soviet Union and the Western world led by the United States. During this Cold War period, the major powers never fought each other directly, but instead were involved with opposing sides of smaller conflicts such as Vietnam and Korea. Of World War II began to give way to many diverging public opinions. While some opposed the very idea of the military, others believe that you can support the troops and honor their sacrifice. While opposing the war, folk music became an important way of expressing this kind of patriotism.
countries joined the military force led by the United States to push the Iraq troops back out of Kuwait. The media played a new role in this first Gulf War with live news reports from the front lines and point-of-view images from bombings.
Lee Greenwood's 1983 song, God Bless the USA, became something of an anthem for this war and for a number of other events in the years since. The song expresses thanks for the beauty of the country, the people who make it what it is, and the people who protect the United States of America.
On September 11, 2001, 4 American airplanes were taken over by terrorists. These people came from a militant group which was not strong enough to attack our military, so they decided to attack civilians and try to make us all scared of them.
While we remember the nearly 3,000 people who died in the attacks, we especially honor the many heroes who stepped forward, the police, firefighters, and the first responders who put themselves in danger when someone needs help, and men and women of our armed force who protect us around the world. You all are heroes. Thank you.
star was created to honor a member of our community who has served our country, showing us that real heroes are all around us.